Today, we're on the tail end of our week-long drag racing adventure known as Mega Week. We started things out about a week ago in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where we got the truck dialed in, we made a pretty good pass, and we thought that we would have a pretty solid week ahead of us. We then drove up north to Odessa, Missouri, where we struggled to put the torque of the turbocharged big block down to the ground. Things just kind of fell apart. We then made the marathon drive down south to Thunder Valley Raceway, where we made one pass that we spun on, and we made another pass where things started to look up. Finally, we drove further south to Ennis, Texas, which is where we're going to be racing today. But unfortunately, we ended up breaking the truck. So the $1,000,000 question is, are we going to be able to get the truck repaired, back on the road, and make the drive back to Tulsa to successfully complete Mega Week, or are we going to be stranded several hundred miles away from home?
Coming at you from day 5 of Rocky Mountain Race Week, 4th day of racing, because one of those days was a full day of driving, 500 miles, and a drag and drive event like Mega Week, Rocky Mountain Race Week, that we're on right now is like the ultimate test of man and machine. Test your endurance, test your ability to go without sleeping, and of course it tests your project. We just finished up the Ugly Truck about a week and a half before we left. So far we've covered about 1,200 miles. We've raced at 3 different tracks, and today I am going to try to get close to my dial-in of 11:43 because that's the class that I'm racing in. Or maybe we try to go a little bit faster again. We've been having traction issues with the truck, but I think we've discovered a recipe that works. So let's do it. Good run. I will say though, I'm no good at this bracket race thing. I don't know if that was under or over, or if I had to guess, I'd say it's a little quicker than the dial-in. Let's find out. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Oops. There we go. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Actually, no, that's 11.442. That's really close. In fact, I don't think it breaks out either. I think I had 11.43, 11.44. It's not a bad slip. It's probably about as close as this truck's gonna get for now to the consistency in the bracket. Cool. So we made our pass this morning and we broke out just a tiny bit, not bad. An 11, come back. What did we get? An 11.44 with the 2. 60 foot was 1.602. So almost the best 60 foot. It was like 5 thousandths off. This is maybe the last run that we're gonna do. So rather than trying to play by the rules and bracket race, I pulled off my filter, put my screen on, turned up the boost almost all the way the controller will go, and we want to see what the Ugly Truck will run. So I got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous because I turned it up. We have a couple 100-mile drive to get back home, but I want to see what it'll do.
Schultz and the 86 C10 goes 11:30, it'll work, but at
Think we lost the drive line. Dang it, lost the drive shaft. That's gonna make it hard to drive back home. Thankfully, it doesn't appear that we have oiled down the track or anything like that. There's probably drive shaft parts here and there, but dang it. You never want to be that guy.
So there's this thing we do here at the Historic Texas Motorplex, and no matter where on the racetrack that you break, TJ Bailey this is his home track, this is the love of his life, and we have stickers because no matter what, TJ always breaks your shit.
That's right.
So
Right.
this is for you.
That's right.
I earned this, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Apologies, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Things happen. To the best.
Have a good day, guys.
Don't get down.
It's not leaking. So if I had a U-joint, a yoke, and a drive shaft, I'm okay.
Go ahead and narrate.
Oh, you got camera on?
Yeah.
All right, so this is about as lucky of a break as we can get, if there were such a thing. The yoke is split. The yoke on the end of the drive line is split and the U-joint's gone, but luckily it didn't pierce the fuel tank. It didn't mess up the transmission. The front end and the carrier bearing is still in place, so we're it messed up my exhaust where I welded it all pretty, but no fluid spilled, and that's what I'm honestly relieved about, because I didn't want to make a huge mess. So now we figure out how to fix it. First repair that we have to do. It's too hot here and I don't want to change. I don't like these jeans all that much anyway. All right, damage report. So I disconnected here, that's fine. Front drive shaft's fine. This is the damage though. Pinion yoke broke / shredded. Need a billet one of those probably. Same thing on the drive line, just broke. Evidently it did not like the power. Like I said, it did, I'm sweating, it did reset its best 60 foot again, which was great, but too much. Check this out now. I don't know where the piece went. We searched in the bed. Oh, there's Nick. But it, yeah, it went through that. All right, we got lucky. We came down to Chris Auto Recyclers, and they happen to have a drive line that's gonna fit ugly trucks. So we are in business. And Nick went to O'Reilly to get a yoke. So it's our lucky day. All right, so we sent her a little bit too hard this morning, but luckily we got it patched up. We found a drive shaft, found a yoke, filled it back up with oil, and now everyone's waiting on me. So we're hitting the road back to Tulsa. Drag and drive live. I like it. All right, we made it to the checkpoint, the first checkpoint of the day, and I gotta say, guys, I thought I liked Texas before this trip, but I've changed my mind. I do not like Texas. This weather is brutal, and it's probably not even the worst. It's 86, it's probably 86% humidity. We just drove through, I don't know what town, Dallas maybe. Traffic slow, stopped everywhere. Don't like it, don't care for it. I was literally taking handfuls of ice out of the cooler and like putting it on my arms and my legs to try to keep cool, because no air conditioning. I don't like it. Well, we're making pretty good headway on our drive back to Tulsa, and with the windows down, just cruising in the truck, it gives you lots of time to think. And I came up with some analogy. and I don't know why it came to mind, but we're gonna give it a shot. Way back when we lived in Idaho Falls, we had this contractor, Devin, who actually helped us build a house. And one of the things that Devin said he would do, and this is kind of why I liked him, he said whenever he was working on a bathroom, for example, he would sit on the toilet. And that's not sitting on the toilet to use it, but he would sit on it to see the bathroom from a different perspective, from the perspective he sees it when he's working on it. So, follow me here. This week I have been, quote unquote, sitting on the toilet in the ugly truck. And basically what that means is I spend all my time under the hood, under the frame, under the truck, working on it and planning it, and just basically building it. But I haven't spent enough time sitting behind the wheel and driving it and enjoying it. And now that I have done that for a week, and at this very moment, 1,442 miles later, I've come up with a short punch list of things that I need to address, because I want to continue to use this truck, make it better, and come back to another drag and drive like this probably next year. So number one, obviously, we need a stronger drive. We blew the stock one, the stock pinion yoke broke. The parts store did have a Yukon pinion yoke, which I think is a little stronger, but we need to upgrade. We need something bigger, better in every way. So driveline is number one. Number two, the stock rear end. It's got an 8.5 10 bolt in it right now with a true track, which that works pretty good, but there is going to come a point where that needs to be stronger. So those two parts of the drivetrain I need to reinforce or upgrade. I do want a trans brake. I've got a two-step. I've been foot braking it. I think a trans brake will help me leave harder. It'll help the truck be more consistent. I'm very happy with the 1.58 something 60 foot that we did, but there's still room for improvement. Tires, I want something that's a little bit bigger than the 275, because I don't race in any particular class. I don't have to have a 275. That's just the tire that I chose. And probably the biggest one, air conditioning. I'm driving through Dallas or whatever city that was, in the heat with the windows down, all the hot air from the cars running around. I literally feel like I was about to pass out. So air conditioning, I think, is a must for a drag and drive car. But overall, even with those shortcomings or things that I want to change, I'm still really happy. I'm grateful that we've made it without any major issues. Yeah, we blew up a drive shaft, but we found a replacement, and we're driving it back. So that's the one thing that I love, is I love working on cars, but then every time I drive it, I'm like, okay, here's like 10 more things I have to fix. But I don't think it'll ever be done, but we can get it closer to being how I want it. And just like that, our 1,600-mile week-long drag race adventure is coming to an end, because as soon as we cross the threshold back into Tulsa Raceway Park, we have officially completed Mega Week 2025. So, here we go. A bit unexciting, but we're pretty much finished now. I thought they were going to be doing some more passes, but this is it. Like, we've run our race, we fixed the truck, we broke the truck, we fixed it again, and here we are. Race week is done.
When I started out Rocky Mountain Race Week, I had basically two goals. Number one, just to finish, and number two, to roughly average an 1150, or a little bit quicker. Now, the first goal, we passed that with flying colors. Yes, we did break the drive shaft, but we were able to repair it within the spirit of the event. You know, we found the drive shaft locally, brought some tools with us, and we fixed the truck, got back on the road, and we drove it back to the starting point here in Tulsa. So, yep, we got that one checked off the list. And number two, our 1150 average, we more or less did that also. Our dial-in pass was this guy right here. We did an 1146 with a 3. And the whole objective, if I wanted to win the tailgate class, was to do every pass averaging 11,463 without going quicker. Now, obviously, we didn't win. I don't really love the bracket racing style of competition. I just want to keep going faster and faster and faster. But the main thing is consistency, again, with an 1150-ish average. So,
Run number 1 at Tulsa, 11:463. Run number 2 was a little bit slower, 11:6. Then we came to Flying H. This is where I struggled. The first one was an 11:63, so we slowed down a little bit. And this run, this is the one where we spun really badly. So this was a throwaway run, so let's not talk about that one. Then we came down to Thunder Valley. The first run, we still spun a little bit, but I pedaled it, 11:8. Then we did a couple of tweaks to the truck, and then from here on out, this is where it got really good. 11:366, broke out, but a successful run. And then at Texas Motorplex, we had a 11:442 and then an 11:438. Very, very consistent, which again is the goal. Yeah, these all broke out of our dial-in, but that's okay because, again, it's figuring out the combination and getting it more consistent. And what I really, really am happy about is the short track game. So our dial-in run, we did a 60 foot of 1:602. And then, okay, over here, we did a 1:597. We did another 1:602. And then we did, on the very last run that we broke, a 1:583. So for a 5,200 pound extended cab truck, I really like the 60 foot on that time slip. And just as we add a little bit more power down track and don't explode the drive shaft, then we should be able to get this truck back in the 10s and even reset our personal best that we did in Vegas a couple of years ago. Because remember, this whole trip, we've basically been on, it's like 11 pounds of boost. The very last run where I tried to turn it up, it made like 13. The wastegate spring just isn't all that stiff in there. So that's my Rocky Mountain Race Week, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little series. Thank you for watching. Come back.